great. So, hello everyone. This is Shift Happens first season podcast by Romanian Testing Conference 2023. We are here with Mike Dolha, the RTC MC. So, who are you, Mike? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the MC of the event. I work as a software developer at Nagarro, which is one of the partners here at RTC. I'm a front-end developer. Been doing that for about 10 years, almost, going on. And aside from that, I do MCing, obviously. And, dabbling here and there and audio, music, podcasting, all kind of stuff. So I guess you and I have a lot more in common than initially thought. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
I'm sure our viewers will want to know how does a developer decides to be also an MC? How is it this duality of your personality? Do they clash with each other? Do they blend together?
I'm lucky to be in an environment where people notice that I can't sit still and that I'm an extrovert, and they just kind of let me do it. Because of that, actually, I do have a bunch of stuff going on within Nagarro. So internally, there's a podcast that I run in there, and I'm the face of a bunch of different activities and events going on in there. So I guess people noticed that I'm an extrovert and I like networking and socializing. So they kind of just like, all right, you go do it. That creates visibility for us. So we're happy to let you do that, aside from sitting down at a desk and just coding away.
Yeah, this is great, but I wonder, was it like an internal decision, or it was you that drove like this building a community inside the organization? Were you the reason of the change, or you just embraced it at some point?
I don't want to humble brag, but I'm pretty sure it was me. I guess it all started in 10th grade when I started a band in high school. Before that, I was an introvert. I was very shy. I did not want to be in the limelight. And then at some point I was like, I want to start a rock band. And I did. And that's kind of when it just 180-degree total personality shift. And I was like, I want to be there. I want to be on stage. I want to be in the limelight, the reflectors, the microphones, everything. And then I think when it really drove in with combining it with tech and everything was, I think it was during the pandemic, like in 2020. Me and my best friend were, right after the first lockdowns, we started going out on holidays, so me and him going out mountain hiking and stuff like that. And we talk a lot. And people are like, you guys should start a podcast. And we were like, all right, sure, maybe other people want to hear us. And then we did. And then the people in the company noticed that I love putting myself out there and talking and, interviewing people and doing stuff like that. And they're like, all right, here you go. Here's an outlet. And I think it was the right timing. There was this merger going on within the company, and things started to change. And they were like, we want to create more visibility. And you like to talk, so we're going to use you to create that visibility and to push that change and to bring people together. So my role sort of internally was of like the glue of cohesion within teams and within like the whole region and stuff like that. So happy to be part of the change, to be honest.
I really feel you, man, because I kind of have similar path. Like I was into tech in my first years in school, and then I was on stage as an actor.
Oh, I love that.
And it was really great being there and getting the claps at the end. And then I went back to software engineering, and then I wanted to be around people, and I had people that helped me. And I wanted to do the same. And I really think that this helped throughout my career also and helped the others. And how do you see it? This mindset that you have helps you also, you or your team, to become better professionals, better developers?
Yeah. So before, a while ago, we were doing a bunch of internships with other students. And for a while, I really loved doing that. Now I'm a bit busy with the whole podcasting and all the MCing and stuff like that. But before, a few years ago, I was doing a lot of sort of mentorships, I guess. I was mentoring a bunch of interns and stuff like that, and I really loved it. So I really love doing that. And, like you said, it's all about giving back.
Yeah.
Because, you spend so many years working in tech and learning, and tech is all about change and, shifts and learning new things, and it's constant driving change and stuff like that. And then at some point you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I want to give back, because nothing happens in sort of isolation.
Of
And
course.
both of us had people who helped us get to where we are. And at some point you have that click where you're like, I want to give back. I want to help someone else. I want to be the mentor that I never had, or maybe one that I had, depending on the situation. But yeah, I definitely sort of, I feel that. When you say that, I feel it, because I've been through that, and I want to give back to people, and I want to sort of help drive that and bring other people up, and
And to be honest, actually giving back is also helping you. There's this joke around teachers that if you want to learn more on a topic, write a course and teach a course about it, and you will know better.
Dude, when you do one of those courses, you realize how little you know.
Yeah.
And then only when you start teaching someone is when you actually start learning as well. You help someone. There was this like quote that the only way you truly know something is when you're able to teach it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe that.
Yeah. How was this change in the last year with the digitalization and so on? So somehow I get the feeling that you kind of embraced it and helped you build your podcast and use this going into digital of the people. So
Oh man, I I went and I studied computer science in London, at City University London, and that's a whole different scene. Like stuff happening there happened way earlier. Stuff coming to Romania here happened much later than that was already happening in there. Like that, London's bleeding edge in tech, and anything that's new, they adopt it first, and only later it comes here. So that actually did help me in a bit, because I moved back to Romania in 2017, and I felt that I brought something with me from Western Europe. I brought something with me, at least the energy, at least the vibe, at least the look, this is the kind of stuff we need to focus on. But even before that, I was like, my homepage was Hacker News and Reddit. I was always up to date with like the latest, newest things coming out. And I guess, being someone that works in IT is, it's a joke that you need to learn how to Google stuff.
yeah.
I do believe that. It's not about Googling how to do something. It's just you learn the mental models that you need to think. Because writing code is something you pick up. Writing code is something you can learn. You can read the documentation of any framework and you can pick it up. You can transfer between, coding languages and stuff like that. That's technical, that's dry. You can do that. You can learn that. That's a skill you can learn. Everything else around it, how to think about stuff, how to think about models, how to judge things, how to estimate things, user requirements, clients talking, stuff like that. All that I feel is human. So the digitalization is a part of it, but it's humans that created digital anyway. So we're the driving force. Sure, technology is cool and it's great and it's pushing boundaries, but we're the ones creating it. We're the ones making it. So I think it's still in our power to drive that change.
Exactly, and definitely software engineering is about a lot more other things than just writing the software and testing it.
Yeah.
Definitely, these are two very important steps in the process, but there's a lot of other things, and somehow these are the things that will keep us as humans important in the process, even though we might have in some years from now the AI doing the writing of the codes and writing of the test.
But we're the one pushing the button that tells it to write that code. We're not going to be writing the code, but we're going to tell it write this code or write that code. It's going to know how to do that, but we're going to be the designers of the application, sort of. Not design as it is right now in like UI, UX, but the designers of the whole infrastructure or the architecture or the systems. The AI is going to write it for us. That's kind of great in a way, because, it eliminates a lot of redundancy. You spend so much time writing boilerplate code and stuff like that. And even if you look in the last 10 years, a lot of frameworks that, because I'm a front-end developer, right? So a lot of frameworks that pop up are about doing things better and improving things and eliminating the boilerplate. And AI is now a huge leap forward into that to eliminate that. We're still going to be the ones using it and think on how it gets implemented. And most importantly, I feel we're the ones who need to get the requirements from the clients.
Of course.
AI is not going to be able to do that initially or for the moment. So I think that's the direction that, like, I don't know, our jobs are going to change in, right? We're going to move from being code monkeys into more like code designers.
Exactly.
I feel.
Yeah.
That's my
And we need
take.
to sharpen our skills towards that target. Yeah. What is your relation? So you mentioned you're a front-end developer. What is your relation with testers?
Very good.
Are you a developer that writes tests, or
I have to. Well, I write unit tests.
Yeah.
So I guess you can count that, right, still as testing. I did actually write end-to-end tests for a while on a project in Cyprus. So that was fun, actually. That was fun. But I think, ironically, it is RTC that changed my whole perception about testers. So I was the MC last year as well, at last year's edition. And it was really interesting because I went to a lot of, engineering or code events and conferences. And they're mostly dry. They're very technical. They're like, this is the new framework, this is this framework, and I write this code. And last year here, I went to some of the, because I had to MC some of the presentations, and some of those speakers were fascinating because it was less to do with framework and writing the code to test or doing the click and all that. It was more about what makes us human, you know? What's our view of perfection? What's our view of how do you become sensitive to change? How do you become sensitive to why does this need to do that when you click that button? Why doesn't it do something else? And I feel that's a lot more human than technical, right? So I feel that a lot of testers are more sensitive, more like poets than coders. When you're a coder, you have to write the code and then it's done, it's written. But the tester's one has to be like more artistic, or more creative. You have to think outside the box. You have to think about how you want to break that code, how do you want to test it, what do you want to test it against. And I feel that's a very sort of vulnerable and human side of tech. So I have massive respect for testers. I'm happy that in my team that I'm in, that I'm working on, we have testers. So it's good.
Really happy that you mentioned this, and it's something that I always tell to my fellow developers, that we have to understand the importance of this, and we have to be part of the same mindset, and we need to understand that we are all some pawns in the team, that we all have the same target to deliver better quality software to the users. Software that helps them, not that replace their lives or their activities, but just help them do it better.
I agree.
And it was really great that you mentioned RTC changed your perspective, and it happened for me too, since a couple of years ago when I first discovered it. And I think it's an important message that we're gonna leave to our viewers.
Definitely.
So thank you for doing this, Mike, and thank you everyone for watching us. We were live at Romanian Testing Conference, first season of Shift Happens podcast. Check out us soon on Spotify podcast, on Apple podcast, YouTube, and see you in the next episode.